Everything that was became what is, and what withers and dies is but like the larva in its cocoon.
Hello, everybody, and hello, Cobra.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, it's so nice to be here.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Now I'm trying to add your page. Oh, it sounds like you've really figured this out. You know, your thing here on Facebook and Zoom.
I think I'm getting like a pro, like becoming a pro here with all the technique stuff. Because so far it worked. Oh God, I'm always like, I never know how it turns out. Hello everybody. Hey guys. Hey, so we are here to talk. We just have a nice talk here with everybody, and if you guys have any questions, then just put them in. I will check them from time to time. So if you have any questions to Cobra, whatever you want to ask, let's see. I will just pick the good questions though, like the nice ones.
Thank you.
So Cobra, hello, how are you?
I'm great. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm so happy to meet you as like online. It's wild because I don't know when we would have crossed paths, and it's just so cool and awesome and nice to see your face. And I think this is amazing. You know, it's some kind of light around silver lining that we can do this.
Yeah, this is so true. I mean, we probably wouldn't really have a talk via Zoom without this Corona talk now. So this is super exciting.
No. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Where are you? Are you in Canada?
I am. So I'm on the West Coast. You've been in Vancouver probably a few times, right?
Yes.
So I'm like an hour ferry down the coast of Vancouver. It's called the Sunshine Coast here in Canada, and it's really lush. It's really hippie. Just beautiful old forest, and not so many people. So we've been really lucky. Me and Tommy are both here. Yeah, we're right by the ocean. Yeah, so that's where we are. We're a little bit spoiled for this.
Wow, I just wanted to ask, are you like by the sea, by the coast, like?
We are. I wish I could. Let me see. That's my phone. That's not gonna help. Like, how can I show you? Let's see. Wait,
you even have. Okay. This is serious. This is serious.
It is. It's right on the water. So we've like watched all the nature phases. You know, like one day the salmon came to eat the herring spawn when they were mating, like releasing their eggs and sperm in the water. And then there was seal pods coming, like 15 to 20 of them. And then sea lions that day. And now we've moved into this goose phase. So the whole yard has been absconded by the geese and their babies, and we can't go out there. But it's amazing. So we're just watching them grow. They're like little dinosaurs, you know, like little. Yeah. And they don't fly for 10 weeks. So now we can't be outside.
For 10 weeks.
Until we leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So you are surrounded by nature. Like you said something about the forest, and then you have the sea, and.
Yes.
So is it a small city?
Yeah, the forest's all this side.
This is.
It's not even a city. It's a hamlet, I guess you would call it. You know, like smaller than a village. It's called Half Moon Bay. It's just a small little hamlet, and then there's a little. I don't even know if it's a city, but it's bigger than this, and it's called Seashelt, and that's where we go to get groceries and stuff. So it's quite quaint, and yeah, not very big, but it's been really lovely.
Wow. So it's very calm, and it's actually very nice now in these times, right? Because you don't meet a lot of people.
Yeah, it has. It's been like I feel so bad that everyone is contained, you know, and we've really been lucky because we can go and walk through the forest and stuff and not see people, you know. So we have freedom, you know, during this, which has been really nice. Yeah.
Wow, can you already go swim? No. Is it cold? What weather do you have?
Ooh, it's really cold in the water. Yeah, it's very cold water out here. So swimming is not, though I did see a dad rowing with a raft attached behind him like 2 weeks ago, and the kids were jumping off the raft and we were just blown away. We were like, oh, this is no way, we're not ready for that. No. It's like, it's on and off warm here though. I can't complain. I'm from Calgary where it snows all the time. So, you know, like to be here is really different and sunny and and warm and so I can't complain. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I see. But so you didn't go swim yet, but maybe later this year.
No.
Or, no.
Yeah, probably later if we're here that long.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Hey, this is lovely because I just remember when we were in Canada, I just loved the nature. I'm a huge fan also of Scandinavia and so on. And, you know, just the wideness. I mean, in Switzerland, we are not that big, right? We have the nice mountains, but it's so lovely.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, but it's so nice when you have the wideness and, of course, the sea. Wow. Okay, I'm very happy for you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Though you live in such a beautiful place. Those mountains are just massive and amazing.
Yeah.
And can you go outside at all during your quarantine?
Yeah, so basically at the moment we are allowed to meet 5 people, not more, and of course it's now the schools are open again, so I think slowly with some restrictions. Yes. Also the restaurants and the stores, like with some restrictions, everything is like opening again. So that's okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
How is it in Canada?
Okay. I guess it's similar. Things are starting to open again. You know.
Yeah.
And, It gets really like crazy when stuff starts to open because people are dying to go out and do things, you know?
Yes.
I don't know if it's super busy, you know, where you are, but yeah, it just seems like very busy suddenly.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting there slowly, but it is what it is. Actually, I am checking some comments and I see a lot of compliments about your voice. So this is nice. So this is very nice.
That's lovely. Thank you, everyone. Yes.
And somebody said she or his wife loves the cover of Black Velvet.
That's really cool.
Yeah, actually, I just watched that as well. You look like Marilyn Monroe. Seriously, you look fantastic. You look absolutely gorgeous. Ay. How was it? How was it to film that one? How was it? I mean, like, this is actually very cool.
I loved it because those old movies and that old Hollywood glam, even down to just that hair, you know, and the makeup it's fairly minimal. It's just really complimentary of what a woman is, you know. So and black and white I'm a big fan of. So I loved it. And also it's cool to move a different way, you know. I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but sometimes I think it'd be cool to be where you're like on a stage with that old microphone and you're just moving, you know, like just slightly, like with the music, and it's just it was cool. It was like reliving something else that we don't really have anymore, so I enjoyed it.
yes like diving into a different role. Exactly.
But it's so like feminine. I would recommend it you know. Just doing that on your own, even, like, it just feels really good, you know, and very embracing of the woman.
So everybody go check it out. It is absolutely fantastic, I tell you. So but good. So now
you're too kind.
No, but it's true. So I am reading comments, and I think from all over the world. Love from Hungary, Norway, Cobra Rocks, greetings from Paraguay, hola from
Wow.
Uruguay, Bangladesh, Hollywood, California. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
This is so awesome. We all connect, although we're mostly stuck in the houses.
Yeah. But it's still
Yeah.
so wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from- Hey,
Have you been
India.
have you
Wow.
been working on music or anything while
Hey.
you've been in your quarantine?
Yeah, so I mean, now it felt a little bit like, okay, I have time for stuff that I usually don't like prioritize, or like don't take my time to actually dive
Yeah.
into it. Yeah, so for example, I did now finally a few covers for YouTube. I always wanted to do that. I enjoy it so
Oh,
much.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I just enjoy like playing the piano and sing, and so I always was like, maybe I should try it, and finally now I took my time to do it because it was everything like calmed down a little bit, right? So
Yeah. Yay! Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, yeah. So this is a lot of fun, and we just launched an album, or how to say, released an album.
Yes, yeah.
2 weeks ago or so, with my side project, and it's very nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so we
Oh.
had time for that, and now with Elveti doing these Corona talks and actually get to talk to you. So this is also a highlight for me. It's always very nice.
Holy smokes, you've been really busy. That's amazing. Congratulations also
Yeah.
on releasing an album.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's know
Yeah.
it, right? It's super exciting and it's super busy, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And for a lot of work and time,
Oh.
that you finally
Yes.
get to release out to the world. That's amazing.
Yes, exactly. But actually, not really get to play it live. Actually, we could do a live stream, so that was super cool. But now it would be cool to maybe play it live with actually an audience. But it is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. It will change. This isn't forever. That's the thing. And
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think that people are going to really appreciate, just as much as many artists will appreciate going back out there and getting to do their thing. I think it's going to be the same, for the rest of the
Yeah.
world that also
Yeah.
loves being a part of music. And
Yes.
I think it's going to be a good time once we can start to tour. It's just going to be probably a jumble and a traffic jam, and
Yeah.
it'll take a few years, but yeah.
I think so too. But so I wanted to ask you. So you released an album 2019, right? Evolution.
Yeah.
And did you get to play it live? Were you on tour? Like last year, this year?
Yeah.
How was the journey?
So we did only one tour for that one, and it was through the States only.
Yeah.
And it was 66 dates. It was really long. It was an extensive one, and we were supporting Sebastian Bach. It was this 30th anniversary for Skid Row, their first album. So that was really cool. Just on a personal level, I always loved Sebastian Bach, particularly, especially when I was starting to get into heavier music. I always loved classic rock, but then I found hair metal when I was like 15, 16. I used to tease my hair and everything, and but he was like someone that I just loved particularly, and that's what got me into Skid Row was him, and so it was just a weird full circle like that. We ended up doing this tour with him, and it was awesome, but that's all we did. So we did just over 2 months.
Hey, wait, 66 shows.
Yeah, longer than 2 months we were on the road, which is a really long time.
Hey.
Have you done those tours that are over 2 months?
No, we did now just in December. We did a 7-week tour with like 43 or something like shows, but that was by far the longest I've ever done. 43 or something like that. But 66? I mean,
That's really long.
how many shows per week?
So I think sometimes it was 6 shows. We
Yeah.
also filled some of the dates with our own stuff in between,
Whoa,
So
okay.
not all of them were with him, but most were with him. Yeah. I think it was 66 at least. That's what I was talking about with my manager like 2 days ago, and I was like, whoa. But
Yeah. Wow.
it was a lot of shows, and it was like never ending.
Wow. And
Yeah.
wow. And everything in North America. Like you just traveled around.
Not Canada, unfortunately. That's the crazy thing, is it didn't even cover all of the states. You know, like we missed still a lot of places in the States. We never made it up to Seattle or San Francisco or San Diego.
Yeah.
So you can, or Portland, Oregon. There's so many.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of tours through the States that have been actually 2 months long. It's, in my opinion, too long. Because everyone goes a little crazy, you know, like in the last 3 weeks. It's like you're on top of each other, and it just starts to affect the experience, you know, for everybody a little bit. But we have done it a few times. We did it with Fear Factory once, where it was really long. And then,
Yeah.
what's another really long one? We did a really long one with Kiss and Def Leppard. That one was a little easier because that was really nice venues. But yeah, I don't know. You can tour
Wow.
America so extensively, you know, forever.
Wow. You guys toured with Kiss.
Yeah, we did. It's really hard to believe that still. It was their
How
40th
is it?
anniversary tour.
Yeah. Wow. How was that to tour with Kiss?
Interesting. It was an amazing experience, but also it's interesting to talk about it because, you know, like for a band that is still growing, you think about what are also important opportunities, you know, and things to do. And that kind of concert, it's actually amphitheaters. It was mostly amphitheaters with a few arenas. It's really difficult when it's like a pioneering band and people don't know you and they're not coming for you. So they're also coming to party. A lot of people are partying their ass off, you know, for Kiss. And so even though the experience was amazing, it actually was really hard for us to pull people in from that experience. So I would say it was good, but I learned a lot. And also learned about the reality about an impact like that with your size at that time, you know, like I think we've been better suited to do a tour like that now, but it didn't happen that way in the timeline. You can't control what the universe brings you, you know, and at that point in time, it was really hard. I felt like we were like ants on this stage in front of all their big production, and all the grass area at the very back would fill in first. And so you'd be playing to often like empty seating for thousands of people, and then 10,000, 12,000 way at the back sitting in the grass that came early to get their spot. And that's like really disconnected, you know, like you're... It was, so it was, it was very unique, but it was also just an amazing experience, and I'm glad I had it, you know, because I don't think it'll ever come again, you know, so.
Yeah. How long was this tour?
This tour was about 2 months. It was also really long. Yeah.
So, wow, so you are actually used to do these long tours then. I mean, wow, okay, this is awesome.
In the States. For sure in the States. Yeah, but now after the last one, I decided like that's too long. It's too long. It's too long. Yeah.
I can understand. I think after like, when was it, like already like 5 weeks or so, we could feel like okay, I think everybody needs a little bit of space, you know, and so on.
Yeah.
Exactly, but then there's no way back.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
But
that's true. So, I mean, especially when doing these long tours, what are your tips for the voice? How do you keep yourself in shape voice-wise?
I'd love to hear this from you too, because this is always interesting, you know.
It's nice to share.
For me, it's it's really nice. Yeah, I mean, other than now, I've been taking probably the biggest vocal break I've taken like in years, and it's just because I needed a break. You know, after last year, we did 3 releases back to back, 3 years in a row, and I kind of like felt totally burnt out after this year. But if I wasn't in this time where I could take this time, I usually never stop exercising my voice. I don't know about you, but I'm always exercising the muscle and working on my technique, my breathing as well, and I never let that stop. So when I come into tour, I don't feel out of shape, you know, vocally or and another thing is making sure I sleep. I just think that sleep is non-negotiable, and if I have to, I will you know, even take a sleeping pill on the tour just to make sure that I'm sleeping, because it's so affected. And I exercise a lot, you know. I do a lot of cardiovascular stuff with body movement plyometrics, and really push myself so that the stuff on the stage is really not challenging to move, because I like to move a lot, and there's some other things that I do, but other singers don't do this sometimes, and I find it amazing when they don't. But I don't drink or anything. I very rarely will have a drink of anything. It has to be a very special occasion, like getting married or something. You know?
Congrats, by the way.
Thank you. Yes. He's somewhere over here. He just
hello, congrats as well.
Thank you so much. That was probably one of the best things that happened during this break, actually. So those are some of the things that I do, you know, and eating well, you know. I just try to be really mindful of doing anything that inflames the body.
This is so true. I mean, the body is our instrument, right? We have to take care of it. It is what it is.
Yes, it is. It's true. And I think it's hard sometimes to relate actually to the singer in that sense, you know, like to the fact that it is our body. So we can't do there's nothing we can do. Like a guitar player or something, they can have a cold. But if we have a cold, it really affects us. And also people can judge it externally and don't know what's going on, you know.
Yes. And for us, I mean, we like when you have swollen vocal cords because you're having a cold, the high notes are pain in the ass. I mean,
if you can even get them. Have you ever lost part of your range?
Yes. On one concert I had a huge cold and a fever and everything, and I was just like, you know, no. I guess you know the feeling. And it was horrible, and then afterwards I felt even worse, and no, it's not good. But
actually then again, have a sorry.
No, nothing. You go.
I don't know if you've ever done this, but when I've been sick in the past, I have kept a kettle on stage, and I've just like between songs been running and steaming my voice like on the stage with a kettle. And a few times I have when that's happened, when I've been really sick and I've lost my voice from you know, like you sound like this, you know, and you wake up and you're like, oh fuck, there's nothing going on. I just walk around the stage sometimes in the past with a mug of hot water, and sometimes if I can't sing the line, I just drink the hot water and then I'll keep going, and that's the best I could do, you know. But we never canceled. So
never
I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
you've never canceled either.
No.
Yeah, we haven't either.
Nah, yeah, you know, we have some tricks so it works, right? You with the hot water, of course, drinking tea. My special trick is, and actually it works pretty alright. I have this bottle, like half a liter bottle with half water full.
Yeah.
Half full, half empty.
Yeah.
And then with the like a thick how do you say straw like a plastic
yeah.
Yeah,
the lax straw where you blow.
Yes, Lux Vox.
Yes.
You know it. Yeah, it's worldwide.
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tommy loves it. He swears by it and he's attached to it at the hip, you know? So that's awesome. I know that works really well.
Yes.
I haven't really like gotten into it for some reason, but
you
that
know,
makes
I
sense.
mean, as long as it works, that's fine, right?
Yes.
And, for me, my singing teacher told me about it, and at first I was like, nah. But now I also swear for it, so I totally understand your husband.
Yeah. No, I see it. I also have seen how it's helped people through injuries, you know, like rejuvenating their cords when they've hurt themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, and somehow it helps you that the chords close better somehow, and you use the support and stuff like that. It works. So for me, this is my thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have some somewhere.
Hey, how is it to live with a singer? Like, I mean, you guys are two singers together in one house. How is it? I mean, paradise.
Yeah, it's you know what? It is wild. Like, I never thought that we both never thought that we would end up with another singer. You know?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it happens so much. You know, it's usually like musicians and singers or something, you know? But
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see, like, when we have kids down the road, if any of them sing. It would be really wild if they weren't into music at all, you know?
Wow.
But yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I think is nice is the fact that we can share recording gear. And, I mean, he set up all his stuff too. Yeah, and that's such a nice bonus. And I spent so much time in the band focusing in a different way. Like, because I am operating the machine, you know, from the background, I started to not focus on things like engineering or anything anymore. I really you have to trade your time, you know, for something, and mine had to be operating the business and how to make the band work. And he has he's focused a lot on that, so we can use that together. Like, I actually really benefit from him a lot. He's helped me a lot, and while I've been here, I can use his equipment, and there's always gear wherever we are, you know, to make music. So that's really nice.
This is very nice. Do you also have like technique nerd talks, or how do I know? But
well, you know, we don't really so much. We came from such different vocal backgrounds. I came from a really classical place that came from like a pretty like structured technique. And he came from a place where he didn't ever study with any coaches, anything. And but it's brought interesting things like to the table for him vocally, I think, through like whatever he was emulating when he was also growing up, you know. Whereas like I was learning like operatic stuff, and then I just took a hard turn away from it, but have the voice, you know, that I have, but I don't want to sing opera. It's not my thing. So it's I think sometimes when there's been trouble with the chords, then we'll talk about it, you know, like we'll talk about what are your ideas, how can we help fix this, how can we help this heal. So that's the biggest, you know.
Yeah, I guess can be very nice. Like, he has a different angle, like of you, and you come from a different background, and then you meet and you can learn from each other as well, right?
Absolutely. Though he's like I just think he's such a beautiful singer that I don't even want to say around him. Because he's just like an angel, you know? Like I feel like when I think of our voices, I see like he's this like very clear, sparkling diamond, and his voice sounds this way to me. It's so pretty. And then I have this kind of deep, rough around the edges. I don't know.
But
like
Cobra,
not
your
a clear
voice,
diamond, you know?
I absolutely like Black Velvet or something like that. I mean, you know, you can see like, okay, she got some serious heavy metal in here. How did you develop
thank you.
from but I mean, this must be a very big turn. I mean, you start with classical singing. I mean, it's totally different than now probably heavy metal rock singing, pop singing, whatever. How comes you took that turn, and how did everything develop that you have this voice now that you have?
I guess you know, in my heart I don't feel kindred at all with opera. It doesn't feel like my soul. And it was where classical music was taking me when I was younger. You know, it was the obvious direction when I was... and then I stopped singing, actually, for a couple years. And then it was high school when I found hair metal. That's so funny. But first I found punk rock, and then I found hair metal. It's kind of funny segue, and I was just like, this could be fun, and then I was just having fun with it, and then from there I found Judas Priest, and you know, Iron Maiden, and Iced Earth, and Megadeth. It just like went like this, and then I became very passionate about that, you know, making heavier music that could also be a place for me to use the voice that I had, but not sing opera, because I saw Helford do it at a concert when I was in high school, and I was like, if he can do that, then I don't have to sing opera, but I can use my voice somewhere that's heavier or feels more me. So that's how it happened, you know, in that way. But I don't know. The interesting thing is that I actually love rock. At the heart of everything, I consider myself more a rock singer than any kind of singer, if I had to like peg myself as something. So but you just have different dimensions, I guess, you know, of what you are. And as you get older, like just like you've had a lot of evolutions as well, you know, and it's just part of your growth, I think, as a person.
You started with like 7 or when? With classical singing?
Around 7, 8. With the vocal teacher. I tried to go to her when I was 6, and she didn't accept anyone that young, so she told me to come back when I was 8. So my parents took me back because I asked for lessons. I wanted lessons. I don't know. I just came up with that. You know, kids are funny. Like, kids just get these ideas.
But that means that the passion was there from the very beginning, right?
Yeah, the passion was there. And the weird thing is that I knew nothing about the fact that my dad was in a band when he was younger. And it was a totally different kind of band. I don't know if you know about the Spoons, a new wave band, back in the day. Do you know the Spoons?
No, I'm bad with bands anyway, but new wave
don't even worry, because this is super good. This is really obscure, so don't even worry. It's like synthesizers, and when people got really crazy about keyboard sounds in the 80s. You know, so it's kind of like poppy, but mixed with a little bit of rock, and then there was like always a guy with like a keyboard making sounds. My dad was the guy on the keyboard and the guitar. So he was wearing, you know, like one-piece spandex outfits and leg warmers, and there's videos, you know, like it's weird. It's actually awesome to watch because he's like 20 or whatever, and they're on those old radio shows. They used to be on TV at night.
This is so cool.
You know, when people would phone in. Yeah, and a band would play like 3 a.m. and he's on there, like on that old stage, you know, like where people are phoning in, and he's like, brew, and like doing a spin.
This is so cool. So and you didn't really get that when you were small, but now so music is in your family then, right? So
yeah, it is.
Yeah, and your brother as well. I saw something on your Instagram.
Oh, that's so cool that you noticed that. You know what? My brother used to hide under the piano when I was like young, practicing my singing, and he would imitate my singing, and he would try to sing with me, and I would get so mad at him, and I feel so bad about that now, but you know, like, kids are fighting. He was 4 years younger than me. I was like 12 and he was 8, and he's hiding under the table, or 10 and 6, whatever, and he's like singing along with me all the time.
Oh.
Just sitting under the piano. And then he never really continued on with music, and then you know, actually, this is kind of a funny story. He really wanted to sing and just do something for fun, but he was so nervous, and we never heard his voice as like a man, and had no idea what his voice sounded like. And one night we were on a family vacation, and he like had some drinks, you know, so that he could get enough courage to go up and sing with this little house band. And it was nothing like what he's been doing now, but it was his first step. And then the next year he actually, it was very brave. He quit his job downtown, and he had gone to school and everything to get this business degree, and he went into a field of work and had worked his way up in a company, and he just decided it was not his world, that he needed to be expressing an artist and have a more free life. So he started working on a different job. So he's working now with real estate so that he can be more free to create music for fun. And he just made like 100 songs over the last year and a half, and he never written a song in his life, but he just did it, you know, because he needed to. And now he's singing online for fun, and I just like, I've been blown away just because I find it brave.
Wow. What's his name for everybody if people want to check it out?
His name is Braden Alexander. Thank you. You're so sweet.
So cool.
I see some questions for you on here, talking about. There's a lot of comments, but I actually have like missed most of them.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard to have a conversation, but then check out the comments at the same time.
It is.
I saw.
Also, Oh, go ahead.
I just saw one question. Maybe the rest actually are nice comments. What music do you listen to when you do your workout?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not going to be something that probably is going to make very many people on here happy. Lately, it's been actually hip hop. Yeah. I really enjoy a lot of hip hop and also dance beats. I like listening to like Tiesto and DJs like that. I like things with I've had phases, you know what I mean? I've also had a phase like where I only listen to Pantera to work out, but I don't feel connected to the way that makes me feel anymore. So I right now am listening to a lot of stuff like that where it's just like do.
Yeah, I see.
1, 2. Yeah. So that I think is my best answer for that.
All right.
What about you?
Oh, me. Actually, I don't listen to music when I work out.
Yeah, that's great too.
I do this. You know, I am not that sporty. I don't know. I was never that sporty, but I know it's good for me. It's good for my body. So I do this actually like a special workout. I have a Skype conversation Actually
Yeah.
2, as we do now, and then we
Yeah.
train for 12 minutes, and it's this high intense and slow training. So we have like 5 different exercises or so, and I have to do them as slow as possible, and it's very tough. I don't know, at least for me.
Oh.
Yeah, and
No, I believe that.
yeah, it is actually really tough when you have to like have constant tension in your body and just do everything as slow as possible. And then after 12 minutes, I want to die, and it's done.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all for that. Because it takes so much strength if you don't have that momentum behind you. So I totally
Yeah.
could, believe that that'd be really challenging, and you can't do it for a very long time because you're just
Ugh.
like wiping your muscles out, right? Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
starting to shake and so on, and then screaming at the trainer that is there because it's like no, it's always very intense.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I mean, I think like movement is so personal. You have to really find like a movement
Yeah.
that works for you, because it shouldn't.
Yeah.
You can't. Otherwise, you'll never do it. Like. So I think that's great. I go through different forms of movement. Like depending on how I'm feeling in my life. Last year, like I tried giving up the gym altogether, and I just did yoga only and dance, and that was really different. I was trying to lengthen my body because I've always been so like stocky, I guess, I used to be a figure skater, so I'm used to training, and having those like compact like movement muscles from all the like power movements, and it's like something that I was trying to change about my physique, and also how open I felt, because I think that our heart, can get really closed up even from the physical movements that are
Yeah.
keeping us closed, and the weights really make that tight. So
Yeah.
anyways, yeah.
Yeah, but it's very
So-
also for singing, like keeping yourself in shape. It's super important. So it's very nice. How is yoga? I always wanted to start, and I will now. I tell you, I will start, because I think now is the time. But I want to know, how do you feel about it?
I love yoga. I am very challenged by it. Flexibility wise, I'm not a very flexible person. I'm very tight wound. Some people have open hips and stuff. I don't have open anything, like but like maybe that wasn't a good thing to say. Hopefully no one has their mind in the gutter. I would suggest it like 100%. It's just, there's so many forms of yoga too to explore. It's like a really big world. Yeah, like I have tried all sorts of different yogas, from just the stretching to just the meditative to also just breath yoga, like traditional style where you're just all these
Wow.
and strength. And I recommend it for anyone. I think it's just one of the only exercises too that I've ever tried where I actually find myself not thinking for a second. Like eventually, after I'm into the practice, I'm like, whoa, I don't think I had a thought for several minutes or 5 minutes, because you're
nice.
just, it's hard, and
It's hard.
yeah, and you're breathing too, which changes your physiology. And so I think that I think it's quite amazing. It's definitely worth giving a try, and I try to bring my yoga mat anywhere I can, just because I do think that it just can change how you feel, even if you aren't if you think you're not good at it, like it's not about that. It's just So I would recommend it. Actually, I have something to recommend to you if you do want to try yoga. There's an app out there called Alo Moves. It's ALO Moves, and alomoves.com. And you can try it for a free 2-week trial, and it has all different kinds of yoga, also like short ones, 10 minutes long to an hour and a half, and I love it because it it has all those options, so you don't have to feel daunted, by maybe trying something that might be an hour-long thing or something right off the bat. Yeah.
Hey, I will write it down.
So.
Wait, where are my notes? Here. Alamos.
This guy says yoga is awful. I have the flexibility of a rock. Me too. I sympathize with you, Garth. Well, if it's not for you, it's not for you also. I like the stretching, and because I am not flexible either, so yeah.
I definitely want to give it a try. It's one of these things. I know it would be good for me, and I want to do it, but then you never prioritize it, and so on and so on. Yeah. Oh, it's the same.
Oh, don't worry about it then. Just I don't think there should be any pressure on anyone ever.
That's true.
There's a lot of things that could be good for us, but
that's true.
It will happen if you want to do it one day, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe with that app here now. Maybe. So we have another comment. I saw one. Do you prefer festival shows or club shows?
I actually prefer festival shows, and it's not because of it's hard. I wish I could mix some things from both,
Yeah.
I love the energy and intimacy of the club shows. I find that is really awesome. There's that, but at the festivals, there's just that open air, which I'm just such a fan of. Being in the open air and breathing in fresh air and seeing the sun, and I find that so special. I can't trade that feeling for playing outside for anything. I just thrive off that that outdooredness. So that's why I love festivals actually so much specifically, is because you get to play outside. Yeah. And I also love that everyone comes for all the bands, it's got that different vibe usually. People are just so excited. They stand with you in the rain, and it doesn't matter what's happening.
Yeah.
Everyone's just committed to that weekend. And also, I have to say, I'm a big fan of the organization. It just gives me so much relief to do festivals, because it's just organized and I have to do less work than when I am with my own band in a club show, which is a lot of work, and I can just really relax at a festival. Because the catering's there, it's clean. You have your space. The space is promised for you. It's not always like that in a club. You don't even know if sometimes you'll have space. So it's like a sigh of relief.
Yeah, and you get to see other bands too. That's super cool. Not always the same.
Yes, actually, that's true. That's a big plus. It's an amazing day that you get to have when you play at a festival.
Yeah. You played Wacken and everywhere. How is it? I was actually wondering. I mean, do you travel for just one festival to Europe, or usually do you combine it with other festivals, so you make a festival tour, or how is that?
Yeah, I'm guessing, do you do the same thing? I feel like that's the most financially and just most rational way to tour during the summer. And also it's hard to do tours that are not festivals during the festival seasons, because people don't book bands as much, So I feel like I'm it's funny to be interviewed by you, because sometimes when I'm answering, I'm oh my God, I'm preaching to the choir all the time, because you know. like, because you have to do this,
No, but actually, I'm wondering, because you come from far away to Europe, but we are in Europe, so
yes.
we try, of course, to have maybe 1 or 2 in a row, but we can go to Sweden for one festival and then we go back. It's okay, because we are in Europe, but when you have to fly overseas, then I guess you maybe even make like a 3 weeks tour in summer, because we don't do that.
Yeah, actually, yes. So the answer is yes. It makes a huge difference. One-off dates are not one-off dates, and one-off dates are just not, at least for my band, it's a financial thing. It's like financially just not making any sense. It will cost double what we will even get paid, like to come for one date. And so we like piggybacked, like that year we did Wacken, we piggybacked all the festivals basically together, and that was the only way we can make it possible. We have unfortunately had to cancel some festivals like a few years in a row now because of the fact that they are one-off and it's just like not possible. So last year we had to we pulled off John Smith, and it was because flying to Finland and back for one date, and also the band has to get together for a rehearsal beforehand, and then you gotta it's actually really sad. It makes me sad because I don't want to not be able to have those opportunities, and also festivals, just because I love them so much, like it's really hard to let them go. And this Corona thing, that's one of the things that has been really challenging. Like things are moving to next year now, and already this year it was a tough decision for me to decide, are we gonna do these 3 festivals, does it make sense, and can I pull this off? And now they've moved to next year, some of them, and one is still this year, and that changes everything for someone like or a band like ours, because that means now I need to arrange and come up with funding for 2 different rehearsals, maybe have to change the flights, and now I'm looking at it like, shoot, like now is it gonna be possible, so I don't know. And I hate not being able to accept a festival offer, it breaks my heart. So but it's just reality. It's like part of the arts that are just very challenging and a struggle, and it's in the background for us, where people can't see, and that's the other thing too, is like, I don't know about you, but it's like, it sucks when you disappoint people that wanted to see your band,
of course,
and it's like hard for both sides, and I don't know how much always belongs out there. Like, you don't want to put your worries out there too much to people, or why you can't make it happen, but it's I find that really hard. Like, on my heart, I find it a burden sometimes. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like I feel really bad, but also I'm just one human, and I can't figure out how to make this possible for us,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And how was it now in this Corona time? Did you have any tour planned and you had to postpone it? Maybe you can tell us the dates so everybody knows.
Yeah. So far, I don't know when the dates are for Leyendas. And you're wearing that shirt, right? So we haven't actually been there yet. Yeah.
I love that shirt. We played last year. And, I love it so much.
We were supposed to play last year, but it was the same situation. I couldn't figure out how to do this one-off thing to Spain and back, Yeah. We would have seen each other, and also Tommy was there with Camelot. Like, it was a really good year. But that shirt looks really comfy, by the way. It's moved to next year. I don't know when it has moved because it's just been like announced only yesterday that it's moving. And the Alcatraz Festival, I also don't know when the date is, but all that I know is that Belgium is not allowed to have the festivals, you know, this year.
Yeah.
So we're still waiting on more information. And then we have this one festival, which is a new one for us, is Rockfest. And it's in the US. And they've actually moved it to September, if you can believe.
Okay.
Well, so we'll see, you know.
So do you play a lot of festivals as well in North America then?
No, not at all. North America has not really been a place where we've played any festivals. Actually, we haven't played festivals in North America. And there's a lot of like rock festivals, I think, mostly more than metal festivals, you know. And we weren't really like appropriate yet for that demographic because we just started like mixing more of the heavy rock with the heavy metal in the last couple albums. So now that we are in that fold, we can come into some of those. So Rockfest I was really excited about. And we have Heavy Montreal, but we've never you know, gotten the invite. So yeah.
Well, maybe in the future, somewhere. That would be great.
You never know. I'm not, you know, it just will be what it will be, and I'm gonna be grateful for whatever happens.
Yeah. I remember when I saw you live. I saw you in Switzerland when you were touring with the Butcher Babies. That was when was it? On the heavy. On the female metal tour with the Butcher Babies.
What the heck? How? Oh my God! I can't believe I can't remember this.
That was 2000. When was it? 2018 in.
Yeah, it was not so long ago.
In autumn, yes. No. We did a meet. We did a meet. I was just watching. I was just watching the show.
Was it? Okay, I was like, no. Then I would have felt awful. I was like, how is this possible?
No. We did a meet, but I was but I was watching the show. And I was just very impressed by both bands because I was like, hey, female metal voices. I have to go there and watch the show. It was very cool to see.
Oh man, it would have been nice to know you were there, you know, so that we could have all like met and visited. And was that the first show? Like, where was that in Switzerland?
In Solothurn, Kofmel. Maybe it was the first one. It could be.
Oh
Kofmel.
my God.
Maybe, yeah.
And you know what sucks is that like that one for me, like it was not the best show, like it, you know. So it was because it was the first one, and all of our gear didn't show up, and we had it cabbed to like all the clothes and everything like didn't come, and then everything arrived in a taxi cab like 20 minutes before we were gonna go on stage. So the guys had like Yasho had, I think, Henry's guitar, and people were being amazing. They were being so kind and like sharing their stuff, but it was crazy because nothing showed up. And so when we got on that stage, we were like super flustered. So I wish you could see one where, you know, but you know what? The fact that you were there is just so freaking cool.
I couldn't tell.
That's so awesome.
But you know, sometimes you stress about it, but people, like, I didn't know what happened before. I didn't see anything, like, you know, that you guys were stressed out and stuff like that. So congrats to that.
I guess that's our job, right?
Exactly.
we gotta just put it aside and go and do our best job. Yeah,
this is true. Yeah, but I remember I also really liked your outfit and your performance. That was actually really cool. What about your clothes? Where do you find them? Something.
Oh yeah, I was wearing that like a gold outfit. Was it gold?
Yeah, it's a glittery gold and
black, with a skirt thing.
Yes.
Shorts. Yes.
Yeah, you still remember. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually love fashion, and I have ideas in my head, and I have a really amazing woman that I work with in Calgary that really helps me create the ideas I have going on in my head. So we make them, or rather, she makes them. I just speak about my idea. I bring her the inspirational photos, and then she just turns it into a masterpiece. And she's one of those people that, like, no one, she's just working so hard. She's a single mother that is so gifted, but is another artist that just hasn't been found. So she's just doing what she can to support her children and keep her business working enough to basically have her family. And so she doesn't take on very many projects, and she has, since I found her, she has worked with me on all my outfits for the last several years. Like for the Juno Awards, she made my outfits. For the tours, she makes my outfits. And it's nice because I have some kind of like, I don't know. I don't like to show up in anything people can guess that I'm going to show up in. Like on the last tour, I had this cobalt blue outfit with gold stripes, and I don't think anyone saw that coming.
All right. That's cool.
I was like a sparkly blueberry, and it's just fun. It's really fun.
What about your wedding dress? Did she also do it?
No, actually, my wedding dress, she really wanted to make it, but because I had no idea of A, what I even wanted it to look like, and B, it was really important for my mom and my grandmother to be part of the process, so I didn't want to take away the dress trying on from that experience for us, because it's only going to happen once.
Yeah.
And I say that with meaning, like I really think this is a lifetime thing. So actually I found a dress right before all this happened, but I never ended up buying it because I was really scared the company might go out of business or something, and then I wouldn't receive it, and I bought it or something. So I just wanted to be safe, but hopefully they, can have it and that the business is okay for their sake after all this. But I don't think that Tommy's gonna watch this, so I'll just tell you a little bit about it. It's very bohemian, it's very like I really actually love Elevati because of the folk elements. And I connect to the nature, in a way that has to do with that kind of that vibe. And when we got married, I had flowers, a flower wreath around my head.
Yeah.
And I didn't wear a dress because it was just like a simple ceremony, and we couldn't have all our family there. Everyone was on Zoom, so actually we got married just wearing whatever clothes we had. So I was wearing like workout leggings and like a outdoor jacket, like for hiking in. Yeah, like there was no and we didn't have a ring for him, like we didn't have anything really, so we just got married. It was very real. I'm just gonna say that, like it was exactly as we are with whatever we have right now. And we found like a really cheap ring from this woman that let us in her house that sells cheap jewelry at like the market, the farmer's market on Sundays.
I love that.
And she just gave us this so that I could have something to give him. And his family and my brother and sister and my aunt were on Zoom, and my parents are here, and it was just us. And it was like that. And I was wearing my Converse, like the same Converse I wear on stage.
Wow. So was it a spontaneous thing, or how was that?
It was fairly spontaneous. We like, for us, the marriage, we knew we wanted to do this. We made that decision, last year.
Wow.
But the actual thing of it came down to him being in Canada, and we just thought it's gonna either be us working on a visa to extend, or we can get our formal marriage papers and we can work on his residency and just skip that step, you know. And why not do that? Because we were ready. We told the family was told about it, and we just decided like, yeah, like it's we're ready for this. And actually we really wanted to get married here, but because it's such a small town and it's not easy to get to, we were having a tough time planning a wedding here, you know, for people to fly in and somehow get here through the ferry and all this stuff. So it wasn't working, so we couldn't have our wedding here. And then in the end, we ended up getting married here anyways, which was what we had wished for. And it was really, it was so beautiful because of how simple it was and how intimate. It just meant a lot. Because it was just us, you know. We'll still do the wedding though, and that's where that wedding dress comes in handy.
Yes,
and,
yes, okay, I
dress.
See. Wedding dress, party, and cake, and...
I think actually you would really like the wedding dress. I just get a feeling like that. It's very... You could be like in the forest wearing this dress. It's just like a very beautiful bohemian style lace, you know, and it has sleeves that are like kind of like elven, the white ones. Actually.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, I think I could like that, because if I ever would get married, I think flowers and the bohemian like summer dress or something like that, barefoot, and I don't know, but yeah. This is future.
Yeah. That's my those are my flowers.
Oh wow. So
they
nice.
were just drying,
so nice.
You know? So I 1 second, I'll be
Yes.
right back.
Yes. So awesome.
I'll show you. Yeah. So
there you go.
Here you go. So this is what I was wearing on my head. And
Wow.
I don't know if you have this thistle. Do you have thistles where you are?
Yes.
In
Yes.
Switzerland? Yeah.
Wonderful.
So it's just
Smells good.
really wild.
You
Yeah,
did
it smells
it
good.
yourself?
It comes. No, there's a florist here, but she has like a lot of wild flowers, which was really perfect. And this is his. It went on his little. That was it, you know. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is lovely. Wow. All right. So very simple, nice nature, and just spontaneous as well. We are Zoom with the family. Oh, this is wonderful.
Exactly. Yeah. I would show you a picture, but I can't because the phone is on.
The phone is running.
But it doesn't matter. You got the picture. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, thank you for sharing your experience and your just how it was and everything. I guess everybody was a bit curious to hear that.
Yeah. No. Of course, it's still like. I can't believe it in some ways, but at the same time I can, you know. Like I never thought I was ever gonna get married. It was not actually something I was interested in, and then I don't know what happened, but when I met Tommy, my mind completely changed, and I thought I actually feel like, and it's definitely like a possession thing. I think, you know, like this sense of like I want to be one with this person, even though you don't need to be on paper. But I was just like I want to marry this guy. So now we're here, and it's just. Yeah.
Now you're here, married.
It's exciting.
Oh, so nice. Wow. And now you enjoy your time here in beautiful Canada on the West Coast. Wow. Sounds like a dream, actually. Also, like living close to the ocean, I think I would love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You would absolutely love it. And the moon, you know, is very powerful out here with the ocean as well. But what was I going to say about this? Oh, this is actually the first time ever in all 4 and a bit years that me and Tommy have ever had this much time together. So that was also another thing. We never spent this much time together before this because one was always moving, you know, or we were going between countries. Yeah. So we had, I think, like maybe one time where we had 3 weeks together in a row, but that was the longest out of all of the years together. So this has been a really big gift for us to actually have this time together before the touring starts again.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, you are in a band, he's in a band, touring, busy, and I mean, it's already hard to make it work with one. Yeah, and then the countries as well. But you made it work. Yeah. I don't know. You know, if it's worth it for both of you, I think then distance is then it's fine.
Not a problem. You know, it's not the easiest thing, but it's also the only choice if you want to be with that person. And definitely can't say I have any regrets.
Oh, this is lovely. Ay. I'm just checking a little bit like some comments, but there are not really a lot of questions, but very, very nice comments. So guys,
is this really live?
Is this yes?
Can they see your comments?
Yes.
Sorry, Billy. I mean.
Yes, but it's hard to watch the comments and have a conversation. Yes. So if you have any questions, now is the time, because I think we will close soon. So if you have a question, now's the time. Just shoot.
Forever hold your peace.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we will see if something pops up. Otherwise, I think we're okay. Nothing comes. I think people.
It seems alive, not dead. That's a really funny comment. Do you live in Solothurn?
Yeah. Very, very close there. Like half an hour away. Yeah.
Oh, it is so beautiful there.
It is. Yeah, Solothurn is actually very, very nice. Also the city very nice, and the river, and very close to the mountains. I think I will go hiking tomorrow for a day, and it's just
that's so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, now they're popping in. What is your favorite whiskey?
Okay.
Is somebody asking about your whiskey? Or maybe.
Do you drink whiskey?
No. Do you?
Okay, I don't either. So we're gonna fail that question.
What?
I think.
Okay.
Oh my God! Now it's coming in.
Now it's coming. Yeah.
Any plans to sing with Elevati? Well, no, I don't. But this has been awesome. I mean, I think that this was just freaking cool and unexpected. So
but
I have to say, I'm a big fan. Who knows? Is right. Maybe we'll do something on our own in our side projects. You know,
that would be really cool. Hey, let's stay in touch. What else what do you miss most about, like, in these times, but probably Corona times? Is there something that you miss?
What do I miss? I mean, I miss seeing my grandparents, and I miss seeing friends, and I miss probably those things the most. You know, the social aspect of the people I care about that I can't see. I miss Tommy's family. I wish that we could see them. And I know he really misses them. So I would say that is the biggest thing I miss right now.
Yeah, family. Maybe also for Tommy, it must be also special to be like, you know, he's in a different country, but he knows he cannot go back at the moment. Maybe that's also a weird feeling to it, a little bit. Although he's with you, but I don't know, maybe.
It is, definitely. We talk about it quite often, actually, you know, because this is the longest he's been away from his family, and moving to Canada is probably one of the biggest things he's done in his life. You know, it's a big shift. And this all happened, you know, right when we literally moved into an apartment, and then a month later quarantine happened. And so we decided to come out here because it was offered to us, and it's been wonderful. But it has been, I think, for sure tough on him not to see his family, and the crazy thing is that we don't know, like, if he goes there, if he can come back in, you know. And we don't know when that will change, but you know what, we have each other right now at least, and at least we have this online connection, so he can talk to his family every day. I say at least because it's the best it can be, but of course it's not the same as seeing people for real.
Sure.
I saw one question on here. I don't. It will come. Yeah, absolutely, it will come. My Swedish has temporarily stopped. I was really trying hard to learn Swedish, and actually I saw another question too about the podcast that I started, and my answer to all of these is that I started too many things too fast all at once, and it was way too overwhelming for me, and now I'm trying to just make a schedule to focus on one thing at a time, and right now that is been writing more music, and then I'll dip into something else. But I tried to start like 6 new things at once, and it was like exactly the opposite of what resting is supposed to be, you know. And after last year, I said I felt burnt out, and I really like I actually like crash and burned, you know. And here I crash and burn when there's like nothing happening, you know. So I just
then it comes over you, right? Because the pressure releases, and then you're just like
yeah, exactly. And then it was just like, okay, I just need to go slower and do one thing at a time and get one thing at a time on, you know, happening, and not try and do a million new things all at once. Yeah.
So you did now during this time you're here, you also wrote music, wrote songs, and
so I started another album that's just different work completely 2 years ago in Nashville, and then I stopped working on it because I put everything towards making the new album with the guys, Evolution, for Cobra and the Lotus. And now, like just like you said, you have had time to do things that you haven't had time for. Now I've actually had time in this quarantine to start picking it up where I left off. So I started to work on more music again over Zoom sessions with people, which has worked really well. I've been quite surprised. And I worked in real time, and it's been great. And it's a project that has a lot of bluegrass folky instruments in it. It's like based around it's based around 12-string acoustic, dobro, guitar, and which is, do you know what dobro is?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not something that's actually very popular. I don't think in Europe. Like, I have been talking to Rudy from Within Temptation, and he actually has a dobro, and he was like, why did you even ask me this, you know? And I was like, I don't know. I had a weird feeling that you might be into this for some reason. And it's like the instruments that are in a lot of bluegrass or even country bands in North America that has the metal body. Yeah, and I love that sound. So those sounds, slide guitar, things like that. So it's definitely been like more of a like roots, crossroads, gospelish. For me, it's a soul project. It's just all about just expressing the soul in this different way, and in a very like raw way as well. So yeah, that's what the music has mostly been like, and that's what I've been working on.
So is this,
I have a goal.
Is this a solo project of you, or a new band, or are you writing for other people, or?
Yeah, sorry, I should clarify. It's a solo project. So it's something that is going to be separate from the band. Yeah, and it's not a band. I don't think I could do another band. It's so tough just to, you know, have one band. you know. So
Yeah.
this is just me working with different people to create this solo record, and yeah, I hope to release it in like hopefully the new year, you know, if I can record it and do
Wow.
that this year in the fall. But we'll see how this all works out, you know, with this, what's going on right now. But yeah, so you've released an album, you know, through your other project, and was that your first one that you released
Yes,
on there?
yes. We just started exactly. It's a side project next to Elvati. And
Yeah.
it's so much work, right? And I can imagine now.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you were also doing guest vocals with Camelot, right? I don't know when that was. Was that longer ago or?
Yeah, I did guest vocals 2015 and 2016. I think there was one show in 2017. It was the Iron Maiden one that was just a one-off thing for them in San Bernardino, California. But yeah, I did that, and that was in the US and Europe. And then I also did guest vocals for a tour for something called Metal All Stars. It was kind of like what came before Metal Allegiance, you know? Yeah. And I was the woman on that tour. I don't even know how that happened, but I was the woman. So there was only one of me. Like, there was no other women. I don't know what was going on, but I was really happy to be there. And I did that when I was 25. So that's almost 7 years ago now. And I just started to get involved with another project that's a video game mixed with musical theater, heavy metal, rock, musical theater.
It was in Israel, this project, and I did all the formal recording last year in Tel Aviv, and I gotta say, like, that was one of the funnest things I've ever been a part of, because it was just so different. I've never done any sort of character, you know, work before in any way. And this was definitely a little bit like that, because I wasn't singing like me. It was all about what the character was supposed to be like.
Okay, I see.
So
Wow.
Yeah, it's very unique. It's coming out, I think, supposedly this year.
Oh, awesome. Do you know when? Or just so we all know?
They're a little bit behind in their production, because I feel bad for Arnold. He you know, he's the main dude with Ben behind this creation, and you know, like, you know how much goes into making an album, but then he's like got a video game on top of it, and he's also working with like an orchestra, and I think his mind is gonna explode, but he says it's a little delayed, so I'm not sure when it's coming out, but it's called Of Bird and Cage.
Okay, good, because somebody just asked, and I was supposed to ask. Bird in a cage.
It's kind of weird. Of Bird and Cage.
Okay, and it's coming this year, most probably somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, it can be found online. People can wish list it. That's a video game thing. I don't know very much about that world so much, but you can wish list it on Steam. And yeah, it's like the music kind of dictates where the player goes with the game, and it's a rendition of Beauty and the Beast, but it's modernized. So actually it's pretty dark and twisted, but it is really cool because it's about that feeling of being captured and feeling like you're a bird in a cage. And I just think it's so relatable for people, any person, like while they're in life, you know, you feel like that sometimes, like you're not free.
Yeah.
So
hey, this sounds so cool. And you are like in all the different genres. I really, really love that, like being open to everything. And this is how you like grow, right? So this is super cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really, really, yes, I am actually. I think I have a very wide range and open mind to what I've been a part of and what I'm a part of right now. So it's yeah, it's interesting. I hope you know, I hope that I don't I don't know what the right word is for it. Like I always am nervous, even though I have to do what I need to do.
Mhm.
But I'm always nervous to affect people that support me and what I'm doing or what support the band, because I am such a like essentially like a wild bird. Like I'm just like uh
Mhm.
outside of the band, like I'm in it in everything. So I
Mhm.
did an EDM collaboration last year, which was the first time I'd ever written vocals for something like that.
What is that,
I just
EDM?
want to, it's an EDM, like electronic dance music, but it was
Oh,
kind of dubstep electronic dance.
wow. Oh,
Yeah,
that's something
you
totally
know,
different again. Yeah.
it
Mhm.
is. But just I really love collaborating, actually. I think
Mhm.
that's one of my biggest passions,
Mhm. Mhm.
even more than music, is actually collaborating with people and
Mhm.
their gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is
So,
lovely. Well, so I guess in the future we will see more and more. So I'm actually curious
yeah.
to see
Oh,
everything that you come
thank
up
you.
with. Oh. Yeah.
You
Hey.
as well.
Yeah. You know, keeping ourselves busy, right? And just
You
singing.
are.
Yeah.
It is. It's our legacy, you know, the art
Yeah.
that we're part of and that we create.
Yeah, so true,
Yeah.
so true. Oh, this is wonderful. It's a wonderful way to end this now. Guys, I would say, I mean, we've been talking for like 1.5 hours almost. So,
I know. I was thinking like these people are probably like, "Oh my God, this is never ending."
yeah. So,
Yeah.
but hey, thank you everybody for joining this Corona episode talk, and thank you for all your comments, and thank you for taking your time, Cobra. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Oh, she said collaborate with Lizzie Hale. I did. I wrote a song with Lizzie and Joe and a producer named Nick actually last when I was in Nashville 2 years ago. So we're not singing together, but we wrote together, and that was really great. So that'll be on the record that I make. Yeah.
Good. Which will
Um,
come out by the end of the year if everything goes well.
I'm hoping the new year because
Yeah.
I have to record it, you know, and I'm hoping
Uh,
the fall will wind up for the
yeah.
new, you know, for recording it on time. But one question, are you on Patreon or anything like that? How are
No.
you?
Yeah, you are right. I saw it because I got into it. I'm
Yeah.
checking it out, but you are. And somebody actually wrote you can support Cobra on Patreon. Yeah. How is that for you?
Sorry, I didn't mean to keep the conversation going. I was
No,
just
no, that's
wondering
good.
if you were doing anything like that before you leave. Just because it's good to know like who is doing
Mm-hmm.
what, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
yeah. Uh I have just started it.
Mm-hmm.
I have only done one thing. It's like everyone that can that wants to be a part of this can sign up for one $5 thing. They can change that if they want, but I only have a $5 thing available, and it's just so everyone can be a part of it, and if they
Mm-hmm.
want to be. And also right now, like I felt kind of guilty starting something when everyone is hard done by, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm trying right now, and so far it's been really interesting because I haven't put it out there that much, and people have just, whoever wants to support me that way on that next level has found their way into that, and that has been super humbling just to see that that really strong support, like for
Yeah.
me as an individual as well. And
Mhm.
they're supporting that wildness, you know, in me too, and it's just really been cool.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's for me yet, though. I am just giving it a try, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, and it's a nice way to connect with people and to make all your project possible, you know, and to just like
Yeah,
support your journey. So it's, yeah, definitely, that's super cool. Yeah, I will also
it is.
look into it, give it a try. Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely worth it, you know, just to just to see if
Mm-hmm.
it is
Mm-hmm.
something you like, you know, and enjoy, and
Yeah.
you're up to so much that I'm
Yeah.
sure it would be really, really cool for many people
Yeah.
out there that want to support you.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the coolest things I will say about it before we end is I do appreciate how safe I feel on there. I feel very safe to be vulnerable because, like we are so vulnerable already just by putting our art out there.
Mhm.
I have been feeling a little more fragile than usual this year. And this is a very contained community because people are making a very deliberate decision to go and other stuff to get behind you. And so it's a place where I just feel free from the possibility of trolls or anything like that, where I just can just be working on what I'm working on and not let anything that shouldn't affect me. Because sometimes you can, and I'm in a place right now where my skin isn't feeling as thick as usual, so I've really appreciated that. That the way the community builds for you.
Yeah, like a safe environment, safe family out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds wonderful. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I think it's amazing that you're doing this. It's so cool and unique as well. And it was nice to talk to you, and I wish we could have talked about you a little more as well.
Oh, no, we are here to talk about you. This is exactly, I love it. I love it because I did some researches, and then I'm like, I would like to ask her this, and this is so cool that we have this opportunity and people can join, and just having a good time. And so thank you so much. And say hi to Tommy. And
thank you. I will. Yeah, I will. Thank you so much. You're beautiful.
You too. Oh.
I appreciated this.
So okay.
And enjoy your hike tomorrow.
Oh, I will. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, some movement.
Yeah, see, you love movement. Exactly. It's just gotta be the right thing.
Exactly. Yeah. You are right. So everybody, have a good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are, and I need to see how I stop this live thingy now. I forgot something.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate the time that you gave us today. And I'm sorry we couldn't answer all the questions. It was a little trickier, and it's not actually coming in real time on the questions when I see the things. So I'm missing a lot of stuff, but nevertheless, thanks to everyone who hung out with us.
We tried our best, yes.
Yeah, we did, yes.
Okay, everybody, take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.